because you are our family. And just as we want to know what's happening in your lives. Come on up, honey. They can grab it. So we wanted to share, give you honestly an update. I know that some of you don't need it or want it, but this is really important for us, sharing with you, because you know what we're going through is pretty massive. Nothing really trumps it to a large degree. So we want to share with you. And
Before we do,
who's had a birthday or an anniversary? Is this birthday or anniversary? 32 years. Congratulations, Susan and Alan. Well done. Alexia, have you had a birthday? Are you 9? Let's give Alexia a round of applause. Happy birthday, Alexia. And Alexia, I was walking back from my office to home because I like to exercise so I don't drive to work, I walk. And I saw you with a guitar out there. Was that a birthday present? It was? I'm so proud of you. You're going to do so well. To let you know, previously we said there hasn't been a diagnosis for what I have. We have had it diagnosed. The difficult thing is when you say that, you immediately think, well, if you know what it is, you can cure it or take a drug for it. That's not the case. It is still terminal, but it's an autoimmune disease. Probably IBD, inflammatory bowel disease, but they're thinking even that is just a side effect. Without medication, I can't eat. Even a drink of water will make me quite violently sick. And we had the choice, and we've let you know that I could starve to death really slowly. We went through the last 25 years has been test after test after test after test after specialist. It's just been. We had to get to a point where we said, this is crazy. And the specialist said, yeah, there's absolutely nothing they can do. One just told me to go away and accept I'm going to have a miserable life, which was a little hard to take. But then an option came available, which was this medication that I'm on. And it allows me to eat. As you can tell, I've put on a little bit of weight. However, the medication is not working as we thought it would, and that the side effects, I guess because of the high dosage that I'm on, are actually really being intensified and brought on really quickly. So it's pretty horrific side effects. The worst one, look, I've got to be honest, is mood swings. I mean, I can't see properly anymore, and my skin just turning to, it's flaking off, but no, it's not nice when you're having lunch, is it? I mean, there's some really, they're fatal. They're terminal side effects, and that's what will take me. But the hardest one is the mood swings. And man, when you have mental illness and challenges anyway, like borderline personality, which is kind of like a mini compressed bipolar, I can be so horrible, eh? It's just not fair. I'm serious. And when you're in that state, and because basically what I'm also taking is pure adrenaline, and the normal bodily amount for you guys to keep all your organs going, and you know, your fight and flight and flee is about, it's about 8, let's say 8 milligrams. Well, I'm taking 65 milligrams, so you know I've got that intensely amount of adrenaline increased, and so the aggression can be really horrible to live with. Not physically, just verbally. But I've got some happy pills, and they're working pretty good. So we just wanted to update you with that. It's going to be a challenge to get through this winter, and we'll be just taking it one winter at a time, I guess, or one infection at a time. I have no autoimmune. My autoimmune system is shut down, so it's not working pretty much at all. So just so susceptible to infections, and then you get an infection and you can't fight it. And then on a really high dose antibiotic this last week because I still have a chest infection, but then that screws with my mind. It's crazy, and you get the sense of being absent. Desensitization is what it's called. It's when you're in a place, but you're not actually there. You're just disconnected with reality. So that's really horrible to cope with as well. So we just wanted to bring you an update with that. But we're going to end on a good note in a minute. Debbie's just going to share.
I had a really good thought and it's gone. If anybody finds it, let me know. Let me know. Do you know what the amazing thing is? When we were away on holiday, there were some days and I looked at Roger and I just thought, I don't know if he's going to actually be able to preach again. And so the first Sunday that we were back a couple of weeks ago, it was a little bit of a test. And you know what? God is so amazing because Roger preached an amazing message. He preached like a normal pastor. And you wouldn't have known, if you'd been here visiting, you wouldn't have known that he was sick. And that is so God. And I just am so thankful to God for that. And yeah, there might be times where there'll be, have to be a kind of quick stand-in if he's not well. But I kind of think that him being able to preach is a really good indication of him still being well. And so, I guess, some of the things that are affecting his health is that the steroids will give him loss of vision, so he will go blind. And it will also give him osteoporosis, so his bones are going really brittle, and he also has a bit of loss of stability, so he falls a lot, which can give him broken bones. So, but again, the amazing thing is he's here, and we'll make the most of the time that we have, and that could be a couple of years. So we're going to move on, and I want to talk with you. Today is the first day of Lent, and Lent is the 40 days before Easter, and it is usually celebrated by, you normally give something up for Lent, so you give something up and that will draw you closer to God. I'm not going to go into that side of Lent because I kind of figure if you want to do that, you'll research it enough yourself. But I think for me, a really good thing to do is to be quite creative in Lent, and we can be creative in the way that we draw closer to God. And I think for me, that's what Lent is about. It's about drawing closer to God. And so today, the first day of Lent, what we're going to do is there is a cross on the wall over there beside the communion table, and it's nailed to the wall. You probably can't actually see it very well from here, from where you are, but there's nails, and then there's rubber bands joining the nails to make a cross. What I'm going to ask you to do, if you want to, as part of taking communion, is to get a nail and hammer it into the wall, and then you take your rubber band and join it to the cross. And in doing so, it's like we're acknowledging a desire to have a relationship with Jesus. It's like we're acknowledging the need for a relationship with the cross. And we're acknowledging the purpose of being in relationship with others. At the end of the morning, there's going to be some unusual kind of picture hanging on the wall. And we don't know what that's going to be like yet because we don't know where you're going to put your nails. Don't put them too far from the cross for two reasons. They're not going to stretch too far, but also because we've put a board up behind that to give it a bit of strength. And if you go too far away from it, it's going to be a little bit difficult to hammer your nail in. There's so many things that we can draw from this. And I was praying this morning and having a read of my Bible. And I think that the Garden of... So I'm just going to pop this down. There you go. When Jesus goes into the Garden of Gethsemane, it's one of the first parts of the Easter story. And I'm just going to really quickly read a little bit to you. They went to a place called Gethsemane, and Jesus said to his disciples, "Sit here while I pray." He took Peter, James, and John along with him, and he began to be deeply distressed and troubled. "My soul is overwhelmed with sorrow to the point of death," he said to them. "Stay here and keep watch." The first thing that we see is that when Jesus was heading to the cross, he needed to be in relationship with others. And so there's so many things that we can draw out of that in our situation. You know, we're heading into a difficult time. We need to be in relationship with others. As a church, we need to be in relationship with each other. And that's part of the Easter story, is that being in relationship with each other is so important. Going a little further, he fell to the ground and prayed that, if possible, the hour might pass from him. "Abba, Father." Abba means daddy. "Daddy," he said, "everything is possible for you. Take this cup from me, yet not I will, but what you will." And then he returned to his disciples, and he found them sleeping. "Simon," he said to Peter, "are you asleep? Could you not watch for 1 hour? Watch and pray, so that you will not fall into temptation. The spirit is willing, but the body is weak." So the Garden of Gethsemane is like that first place, and it's about acknowledging that need to have a relationship with Jesus, acknowledging the need for a relationship with the cross, and acknowledging the need and the purpose of being in relationship with others. And I want to encourage you to take communion and nail a nail and join it to the cross. And if you want to, you can take a rubber band home or two, and make that something you might tuck into your Bible, something that you might think about over the week as you meditate, heading towards Easter. It's about connection, and I love that we've had Kai Sunday today, because Kai Sunday is about connection. It's about us sitting and talking with each other and getting to know each other better, and that's what Jesus wants, because sometimes we need Jesus with skin on. Just gonna sing. I think you've already had your turn. Okay.
So the great news is, I was talking to somebody last Sunday, and they were talking about the spiritual renewal and revival that they had a few months ago, and how to maintain that and how to keep it going. And the wonderful thing, the beauty of this journey that we're on together, is relationship and sharing. And because of the situation, that sense of eternity and of destiny and of purpose and of reason and of getting close to God is really, it's in my face every day. Every second you're thinking, well, I just had a seizure a few minutes ago, just sitting there. Very small ones, but what I'm saying is, I can be that enthusiasm. I can be that, we need to keep going team, There's a reason we're here. Do you know what I'm meaning? It's blessing that thing and using that as a gift. With your rubber band, you know what I'm going to do? Previously, I went through a very dark period many decades ago, and when you get a thought pattern stuck in your mind, and be it probably the most impacting would be the thought of suicide. We're going to keep this child-friendly, don't worry. But any kind of thought that you can't get rid of, when you're locked in that, one of the tools that you can do is put a rubber band around your wrist and you ping it. And that sharp pain jerks you out, or it reminds you of something. I'm going to put one of those rubber bands around my wrist for this coming week for Lent, and reminding me of what the season is, this journey that we are in towards Easter. You might want to do that as well.
Anyway, you might want to just stand and join me. We're just going to sing a song. I don't have a guitar. Some of you might not know it because it's a bit of an oldie. And then feel free to go and have communion, to hammer. Yeah? All right. Let's stand.